Hello, welcome back to a new video of Microsupplies. Today we have an iPhone 12 Pro. We got some requests to do the videos in English so more people can understand. I'm gonna take apart the iPhone and we're gonna see what's the problem. The customer says it doesn't do anything, so we haven't taken apart the phone. Now we're gonna look what's doing on the power supply. I'm gonna connect the power supply cable. Now we're gonna turn on the power supply and we'll see it's asking the full amp. You see this is different because by the 12 Pro Max the plus and minus is turned around, so I don't have to turn around the power supply cable. I can just connect it like this. It's easier. So the phone is asking a lot of power. That means it has some full short. It's taking all the power we are giving, and 9 out of 10 times this full short is on VDD main. So now I'm gonna take out the motherboard and I'll be right back. Now the motherboard is out of the phone. We're gonna see if it still has a short without all the parts, and it still has a short. So we're gonna take the thermal cam because by a short it creates heat and sometimes heating up, and with the heat cam you can see it easy. So now we have the heat cam and I'm gonna turn on the power supply so we can see the power supply is heating up. So put my finger on there and I don't see anything warming up. Sometimes you can't see the short when you connect the power supply cable because it's going from the power supply cable to a chip and the chip creates VDD main. So to see the short we're gonna inject directly in VDD main. In order to see where VDD main is located, we're gonna take the schematic and we're gonna look for iPhone 12 Pro. You can search here VDD main or just main. You're gonna see PP VDD main. Also what you can do is click to a capacitor next to the power IC. If it's a lot of red, if it's a big line, it's most of the times VDD main. So the most easy place to inject is right here. There's a sticker over here. You're gonna remove it and inject voltage. You want to inject voltage according to the voltage of the line. So we know VDD main is 4.3 volts. Around that 3.7, 4.3. We're gonna inject that voltage. For example, if you have a 1V8 line, I think it's here 1V8, you don't want to inject 4 volts because you're gonna burn something. With this you're gonna inject 1.8 or less. So now back to the thermal cam. I'm gonna remove the sticker and we're gonna put our multimeter probes in the power supply, and now we can inject the voltage. Doesn't matter if you put a red on ground or black on ground. Yeah, I see something getting warm over here. It's probably inside of the motherboard. Sometimes the short is on the upper side, so you don't have to take apart the 2 layers. But in this case we need to take it apart. So we're gonna take the preheater. Don't forget to remove the sticker. I'm setting the preheater on 220 degrees, 220, but some preheaters use different temperatures, so always look what preheater you are using. And even if you have the same preheater as mine, maybe it's calibrated different and you need to use another temperature, but it's around this temperature, 220 degrees. I'm using the iHeater Pro. Now we're waiting until it's warm enough and we can split the boards. Well, the board is heating up. I'm removing these stickers, they are melting anyways. Now the board has heated up. I'm gonna take apart the layers. No, and I can't go in the middle. I need to warm it up a little bit with the heat gun. Let's see, and we can take it apart. You can turn off the preheater and set it aside. Don't see anything strange as far as now. Remove the thermal paste. Firstly, we're gonna measure VDD main if it still has a short. And as we can hear, it still has a short. So now we're gonna inject the voltage again and see under the thermal cam if anything is getting hot. Of course, we didn't see anything getting warm on this side, so we're gonna look at the other side and we can see VDD main is here. I think here is an easy place to inject. only thing I can see is turning warm is the charging IC, but we can see there is no 3D main in this IC, so that's strange. Maybe if I'm injecting on the other place. I'm gonna try this one. And still, that's the only IC that's getting warm. Could be that there is a line inside this IC that's connected with VDD main that's shorted, so it's giving the short to VDD main, but that's not the line that is shorted. That could be the problem. So we're gonna measure the capacitors around here and see if there's a short on the other line, because it's really the only thing we get is seeing that's getting warm. But this is VDD main. And this one is ground on both sides. It's 3D main. Now I can't see anything that's shorted, so we're gonna just replace this IC or pull this IC off, measure under the pads the short, if there's short on the other line, because it's possible that short was in this IC, not on a capacitor, for example. So I'm gonna put the board in a board holder. First we're gonna add some flux. Push the capacitors a little bit down, but it doesn't matter because there's no something that can make short with it. I'm gonna clean the flux so my measurement is more clear. I'm gonna see if 3D main is still shorted, and it is still shorted. So this wasn't the problem. We're gonna inject voltage again and see what's getting warm. Now I can only see that CPU is warming up, so we're gonna probably it is or the CPU, but I don't think so because there's no 3D main in there, or it's the power IC or something under the shield. So we're gonna pull off the shield. For pulling off the shield, we're gonna use my tweezers. I'm gonna put it right beside here and put a little pressure, just a little bit. I'm gonna heat it at 500 degrees and 120 airflow. And watch out you don't break off any capacitors. Now the shield is removed, no damage has been made, and we're gonna measure or inject voltage in 3D main and see what's getting out. And it was inside of the power IC side. We've located the short, it's on the upper side around the power IC. We have seen it on the thermal cam. Now we're gonna look where the problem is exactly, and honestly I can already see which capacitor is wrong because it's a little discolorated. It's this one. But if you can't see it, what you can do is take your rosin and your soldering iron, put the soldering iron in the rosin, put it above the motherboard. So you see all this rosin powder. Then if you're gonna inject voltage, you can see what's getting warm. You see? This one. And now it's gone, the short is gone. We can check this by measuring VDD main again, and we can see the short is gone. One side is ground and the other side isn't beeping anymore. So this was the problem, that the phone didn't turn on. We won't have to replace it because there are a lot of capacitors on 3D main. If one is missing, it doesn't matter. So now we're gonna replace the IC. Pulled it off for nothing, only a little bit of more work. And also I'm gonna put low melt solder tin on the sides of the board, so it's easier to clean afterwards. Just be careful you won't knock off one of the capacitors or resistors, because if you don't know you did, you're gonna sometimes have a problem with the board. Now we can clean this and the sides of the board. I'm using the soldering iron to remove the tin. You can also use the hot air, what you prefer. These are little cold solder joint. What you can do, add a bit more tin, trying to clean it. Use use some flux. Like this, we clean the cold solder joint. Now the layers are cleaned. We're gonna reball the IC and put it back. We're gonna wick this IC also. Here I have just a universal stencil. Now we'll put some solder paste on the IC or on the stencil. Now we heat it once more. And we're gonna put back the IC. Every IC has a dot, but because of this one is missing one pad, we know how we need to put it back. Now we can test the phone and assemble the screen. And now we're gonna turn it on with a tweezer, making a little short on the power button. As you can see, it's turning on, so the data is saved. This was the repair. If you want to see how to reball the layers, you're gonna need to see our other video. It's coming online soon, or it's already online. If it is, the link is in the comments. If it isn't online, you need to wait a little bit. This was the video. Bye.